Let's talk about the old way of doing hiring manager outbound on LinkedIn versus the new way. If you are a recruiter and you are battling to connect with enough hiring managers, this is going to be a video that's going to help you scale your outbound and scale the number of hiring managers that you're able to book meetings with without needing to do anything manually yourself. And all you're going to need is two different tools. If you already have a way to get lists of hiring managers, then it's really just one additional tool that I'm going to be showing you. So this video was inspired by a conversation that I had with an agency owner that was still doing things very manually, and I thought it's time to show people how you can scale this. So the old way is you find the hiring managers and but you potentially go to LinkedIn and you're manually trying to connect with them, or you see a hiring manager that posted and you manually connect, you send them a message and you try to book a meeting with them. This can 100% work, but it's not very scalable. It requires you to show up every day and spend your time trying to do this. What I'm going to show you is how you can scale this without putting in any more effort. Basically, you start with a list and you put this into a sequencer, which is going to help you connect with more hiring managers. So the first step is we're going to find the hiring managers, and then I'm going to show you a sequencer that you can use. All that's required is that you have LinkedIn Premium, which most recruiters already do, and then you can basically put the list in there and connect with more hiring managers. You can also define your messaging and copy, and in the future, I'll make more videos about how you can get really fancy with this basic system with different signals and inputs and messaging and syntax. So with that said, let's jump into it. The first tool you're going to need is called Apollo. You can use other databases if you have a different database. Essentially, all you need at the end of this is a list of LinkedIn URLs of the profiles that you want to target. So wherever you get it, doesn't matter. In this case, I'm using Apollo. They have a free tier. You can try it for free. And for this example, let's say that we're going after CTOs in San Francisco at tech startups. You would basically come here to the people section and you're creating a search. Just like you're going to search for candidates, in this case, we're searching for hiring managers. So for the job titles, we're going to put CTO and co-founder. If you wanted to target engineering manager, just as an example, let me show you. You just come in here and you just say engineering manager and you just add that title to the list. And we're going to keep that as it is. In terms of people lookalikes, you don't have to worry about that right now. Company, this is if you are targeting specific companies. Say you only want to go after a certain list that you know, like certain domains or certain companies that you know you already have a warm introduction with or something like that. You can go after those companies. Locations, pretty standard, just put in the location. Industry and keywords, the one thing to note here is I always exclude staffing and recruiting. So put in company, computer software, information technology, whatever the industries are that you're going for, and then make sure that you exclude, if you go into advanced settings, exclude staffing and recruiting. This just means that anyone that you get is not going to be affiliated with or working in a staffing agency. This is more important in the future, especially as you start to grow things. It's just going to make the quality of the leads that you get much higher. And then the other thing that's important is if you think you're going to be using this list in the future for email, click email status verified. If you're only going to be doing LinkedIn for now, then don't worry about this. But if you feel like in the future you'll probably reuse this list to do email, or you're doing multi-step, like multi-sequence campaigns where you first send them an email and then you send them a LinkedIn, or you first send them a LinkedIn, then send them an email, click email verified on. So in this case, we're only doing LinkedIn, so I'm going to keep this turned off. And then employee size, pretty stock standard. How big of the companies do you want to go after? Once you have this list, there's also a bazillion other filters that you can use. The ones that we've gone through are the main ones. The only one that I would basically keep an eye on is just email status if you know you're going to be doing email. Once you have that list, you can click over here to select the leads, click apply, and then you can basically export them. Once you click export, there we go. You can click next and say save. I've already done this, so all you do is you say save. If you can't see the download and it's not appearing in the little icon over there, what you can do is go to settings and just go all the way to the bottom, click on imports and exports, and click on CSV exports. There we go. And now you can see your exports over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to download this, and now we're going to put this into the sequencer. So let's just quickly recap what we did, because this is the fundamental, this is the basic thing that you need to get right, like garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't get your list right at the beginning, then no matter where you put it out or no matter how you sequence it with whatever tool, it's not going to be correct. So take your time to really get into the details here. Look at these different people, look at whether these would be the people that you want to work with. And then if you start with a really strong list up front, then you're going to have, life's going to be a lot easier down the line. So now that we have our list of CTOs, let's put it into the next tool, which is called AimFox. AimFox is a sequencer tool that uses LinkedIn. Basically what this means is every week, if you have a LinkedIn Premium profile, you can send 180 LinkedIn Connect requests. And the problem that a lot of recruiters face is that they don't know this tool exists, or they're still using manual processes and they're trying to manually connect with people. That's totally fine. You can 100% do that. This is for recruiters who want to scale their outbound and connect with more hiring managers. This is one tool that will help you do that. Another one is called HeyReach, exact same idea. I like AimFox. They are a startup and they have a really good system, and they're also more affordable than HeyReach, and it works just the same. They also have really good webhooks and integrations on the back end, which is not important right now, but as you get deeper into the stuff and you want to make more end-to-end flows where it just literally just runs for you, that becomes really important. So when you are in your dashboard, basically all you need to do is create an account. Super simple. AimFox will walk you through it. You basically just create an account and link your LinkedIn. Again, you're going to need LinkedIn Premium, but it's definitely worth it. You would then come into campaigns. You can see some existing campaigns that are running here, and you would click create campaign. This is where you're going to use the list that you already downloaded, that we downloaded from Apollo, and we're going to put this into the sequencer. So in this case, we're going to say custom list. Notice all the different other things that you can do here. You can also do event attendees, Sales Navigator if you're already using Sales Navigator. This is one of the easiest ways to do it. You can just put in a link and it's going to get the people for you. So if you didn't want to use Apollo to get your prospects and you use Sales Navigator, this is one way you can basically just put people straight into the system. Custom list is what we're going to use. CRM, exact same thing. So let's say custom list. Okay, and we're just going to call this test campaign. And we're going to call this CTOs, NSF. And for now, we're just going to use my accounts. What you can do in the future is add the rest of your team to this, which I'd strongly recommend. As you can see here, we have a whole sales team that we use, and this is basically how you can start to scale your outbound. You can really go big with this, and I can show you the stats afterwards. But for now, if it's just you, just add your LinkedIn account to this. We're going to be focusing on a connect. We've never used InMails. I feel like people just delete InMails. So keep it to connect, and you can basically say create campaign. And now it's going to ask you to upload your CSV. So all we're going to do is go into here. We're going to go into downloads. There's our export, and we're just going to upload this list. Now you can see here that it's basically mapping all the different fields. All you really need here, all you need to upload, the only thing that's actually required is the LinkedIn URL. So Twitter URL, company LinkedIn URL, it will definitely be in here. And basically all you can do, you can just say add. So say next, and what this is going to do, this is going to start mining all the different profiles for you. So you can see here, cool, here we go. Karen, Jason, all these different people. These are all CTOs at companies that we're trying to go for. And then you can say next. You can also go back and delete anyone if you feel like anyone is not a fit. Go back and delete them. You can click into their profile. You can then go visit their profile on LinkedIn. There we go. So let's go check out this guy, etc. Now you can start saying, okay, general compute, maybe yes, maybe no. And from there, click on next. And now what you can do is you can start defining your campaign. So one of the questions that people ask is like, well, should I put a connection node, yes or no? In my experience, we have found higher connect rates without a connection node. It's better to don't put a connection node and then put a message in the follow-up sequence. So things you can do here, you can react to a post. These are all things you can try and experiment with. We have found it to be very simple and just kind of keep it standard as if you were like a real human doing this. So usually what we do is we create some kind of like message sequence, and you can determine how many days you want to do this after you connect. You can do this a couple of hours after you connect, it's up to you. I'll do a totally separate video on how to do the syntax and the different messaging here. The fundamental thing that I wanted to show is just this concept of getting the leads and putting it into a sequencer so that you can then click start and just have this thing just going for you in the background, connecting with hiring managers. The challenge with this is that you're using a static list, and we're assuming that these hiring managers have indicated that they're hiring when they haven't. This is just a static list. In the future, I'll show you how to connect signals to that list so you can actually build the list by Signal instead of just getting the list and then just tapping them with AimFox and trying to connect with them. So as you can see here, just to show you an example, this is the message that would be sent 1 day after connecting. That's probably too long. Let's do it, say, let's do it 3 hours after connecting. And you can see here what we've got. So basically we are using the first name and we have got some messaging, and you can basically do this. You can add another follow-up message, and let's say you want to do it 2 days later, you do that. You can add a third, fourth, fifth, as many as you want. Normally we do 3 or 4. It's up to you. You can also endorse a skill, up to you. You can try all the different things. But basically the fundamental thing is you have a list, you make the message, and then you can come here and you can say next, and you can now define your schedule. So normally we do this not on the weekends. So I would switch that off. You can choose your times. You can choose the target zone, time zone, anything like that. And then basically you go again, you say next, review, and you can say start, and you can say start campaign. And now what this is going to do, this is going to try and go and target, well, not try, it's going to go to this list, and it's going to basically, I'm just gonna pause this quickly. It's going to go and connect with those people for you. And now what this looks like on the back end is you can then connect with these people. Notice who you connect with. I'd recommend turning the notification bell on. So let's say that you connect with this guy, Stan, go to his profile and click on, let's do another one, it doesn't show for him. Click on the little notification bell so that you know when they posted, because then this is the easiest way to start engaging with someone naturally. So, okay, I'm not sure why it's not showing here. Basically, there's usually a little notification bell there. Click on that when you connect with someone, and then you'll know when they posted. Maybe it's only when you've connected. Then basically at scale, what this looks like when you've got this going is you will then have thousands of these connects going. You can see how many invites, whatever accepted, and this just becomes math. The more that you have a solid profile, the more that you are posting, the more that you're engaging, the more that you're just a trustworthy recruiter, the more hiring managers are going to connect with you, and then you can basically just start to scale this up. And this is where it becomes really helpful to have a sales team or other employees that you can also connect their accounts to the system, and then you can really start scaling up those 180 connects per week. So instead of having, just your only your 180, you can then have, 360 or however many it is with your other team or your co-founder or your other partners. So that's all for this video. In the future, I'll show you how you can get fancy and connect signals and things like that. But for now, the main thing to understand, going back to the beginning, is if you're doing things manually, that you're probably doing something wrong. It's fine to do things manually. Sometimes I still do it too. Sometimes if you really want to go high touch, then it's important to do that and you can do it manually. But there are these tools that are going to help you scale, and they're not super costly, and they can really help you get in touch with more hiring managers. So hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.